Okay, fuck yeah. All right. That took a little while, but I think I'm live now. Want to make sure, obviously, and get my chat up so that I can talk to you guys. And then I'll be good to go. How's everyone doing? Okay. Just bear with me 1 second. And all right, word. All right, for some reason my scrolling is not working on my mouse. Just gonna turn that off really fast and then turn that back on. Sorry, I'm burping. I'm having a beer. Mmm, delicious. Okay. Um, Still not working. Don't really get why, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. All right, guys. So I'm gonna get this out of theater mode, and then we're gonna get started. Ahoy! All right, sweet. Okay, so today I have a sample I literally just chose. I'm just gonna save this really fast because I need to make sure that I keep track of everything. BiroMakesABeet week 4. Sweet. All right, so I'm on live 9.5 now, which is why my whole setup is a little different. I guess than it was 2 weeks ago, which is the last time I did a stream. Um, I'm really enjoying everything so far, all the features, except for the fact that some of my plugins are causing it to crash, which fucking blows. Especially because I'm finishing up Leftovers 2, which I hope everyone's excited about, because I fucking am. So it's been a little bit of a rough go. But that said, when it does work, the new features have been amazing. Not amazing, but just like a really nice step up. I really enjoyed using like the filters, and the fact that it color coordinates is definitely nice. I decided to switch up my skin, so my color's a little different. Just kind of, I don't know. It's a good change. I'm with it. I'm definitely with it. And considering that I use things like autofilter all the time, it's a really big help to have extra modes and those really cool um, filter drives and all that sort of stuff. It's very well modeled analog style filters. So yeah, I am gonna get going chopping this guy up. This is, let me see, John Cameron. Let me open this up in the Finder here. So this is John Cameron Thoughts. So this is something I got from a friend of mine who has a lot of like library music from the 70s, I guess. I think it's from overseas. Um, but stuff that was made for publishing catalogs essentially. And this is a really cool example of that kind of, I don't know, it's sort of run of the mill music. It was kind of intended to be that, and I don't know. I just think there's so much potential when you pull together some library music. It's like easy listening in a way. You get the jazziness that I always seek in my samples. So it's gonna be fucking cool. I really hope I can make a dope beat out of it. And yeah, let's see what I can do. I'm gonna start chopping in a bit. Mm. I love IPAs, by the way. I think that's just because I'm American and a male, but there's just something about it. Something about it. All right, let's get it blasting in here. All right, right away, I just want to make sure that I have the buffer size, because that's the one thing about streaming is that even though I have like a brand new fucking computer, it's not brand new, it's a year old, but still, it's like such solid technology. Um, Still, I get cracking and crackling and dropouts, and kind of sucks. So, just want to make sure. Want to make sure that my stream is healthy too. It looks like it is. Guys, just write down in the comments if anything is, if you're getting dropouts or it's choppy or buffering or whatever. Just let me know. All right, let's get started. This is so silly. This is like, if you think about the instrumentation and how probably seriously these people took themselves, it's like, you heard this now, it'd just be like, unbelievable. Like, that's got to be a one-take recording. Listen to this, like the rhythm in the synth solo. That's ridiculous. It's like you have to catch up there. Crazy. All right, nice. You guys can all hear me, right? I changed some settings on my mic. Let me turn my mic up just a little bit, so you guys can hear me a little better. Because I don't like to speak too loud. I don't find that fun while I'm streaming. And you know what? Quickly, because I know that turning up my mic just probably made everyone able to hear this. Just give me 1 second, because I gotta create a mute switch real fast. Okay, now you can hear me. Yeah, it looks like it's working. All right, so I'm just gonna shut this off for a second while I'm working. Shit, I just realized my mic was muted. So, okay, so I'm gonna slice to this MIDI setting here that I made. This is a default MIDI slicing whatever preset that I made, and basically I'll show you what it is here. Preserve warp timing, I guess. See, that's a new feature in 9.5. Yeah, no, that doesn't matter because I didn't change the timing at all. So, all right. So check it. What's good? By the way, guys, this is gonna be available. It like gets saved to YouTube. So even if you can't make it, I know it's kind of a weird time. Like I normally do Sundays. This is a Tuesday because I had to work on Sunday night. And actually, last week I was out of the country. I was in Romania with my brother's wife and her family, so that was really cool. But obviously, I couldn't stream from there. Didn't bring my setup or anything. So that was that. But yeah, I am back. Next week, I have another single from Leftovers 2 coming out. I'm very excited to share that with everybody. It's called Summarize. And that's one of the smoothest beats I've ever made. So I can't wait to share that with everyone. I'm going to go ahead here. You can see that I lowered my my audio tracks all to -6. That's just to give myself some headroom when I'm mixing. Because it's very important to mix with headroom so that so that at the master stage you can then boost the volume without having to compromise, the limited digital dynamic range that you have. Obviously, we're working in floating point 32-bit here, which is great, and it does actually account for, poor gain staging and stuff, but definitely make sure that you are gain staging properly. And one of the ways you can do that is to lower your track output volumes so that by the time they get to their groups, in my case, that's how I tend to submix. I've got like these samples, bass, percussion, drum 128. That's all my drums are actually within this rack. Basically, that just gives you more opportunity to mix and not have to deal with digital clipping and so on and so forth. So sorry if the stream is a little weak there, DJ Shuff. Nothing I can really do about it. My internet's kind of bullshit, so sorry. Do what I can. Okay. All right, so I'm going to load this up here. I got my keyboard over here, and we're going to listen. All right, so first thing I'm going to do here, this windscreen is not for this microphone, by the way. It's just kind of resting. Yeah. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I have a little sample channel. It's called sample channel. It is basically this Ableton audio effect rack that I made that has this plugin in that. That's the Aphex Vintage Aural Exciter from Waves. That's a dope plugin, and basically it's like a mid-range exciter. And I find that when you get a lot of these older samples, that it helps bring them into a more modern spectral range by kind of emphasizing that mid-range, which is going to be the bulk of my spectral arrangement, my vertical arrangement, with this particular song. And most of the songs that I make are just the sample, some drums and some bass, and maybe some incidental transitions, synthesizers, that kind of thing. But it's the way that I produce this way is just like sample oriented, and so we want to make sure that it fills out that middle part of the range. So, this sounds pretty different. This is without. that's with, obviously. So So here's what I'm noticing off the bat is the high-pitched synthesizer, I guess it is a little bit out of tune, it seems, on all the downbeats where I chopped. So it might be tough to fit all that in. It wasn't like a super well-played part, so that might contribute to the sample itself being a little wonky and a little difficult to chop. I know I feel like I say that every sample is tough to chop. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do this. You know, not all the time do I pull up a sample, chop it, and then find that it works. And I've been lucky, you know, I guess the past couple times that I've done this, because I have people watching me, that I'm able to figure it out. But it doesn't always pan out the way that I hope it does. And that's fine. That's when I just close the session, start a new song, scrap the old one. It is what it is. So, yeah, just my 2 cents. But just gonna keep going because I haven't really scratched the surface with this sample yet. All right, I'm going to go ahead and enable my metronome here and just lay down some recording. And this is all in the session view, which allows you to kind of not commit to an arrangement quite yet, which is really nice. That's kind of the key feature of Ableton, I think. Oh, that's way too fast. All right. Let me set. I have a little shortcut here for tap tempo. So we're right around 70. couple okay ideas in there. Not like I'm not super about it, but that's nice. I smell a B section later. I'll get to that in a bit. Okay. Alright, so much faster tempo here. 85. Alright, that was alright. I think I lost the tempo a little bit at the end there. That was my bad, but... Alright, I'm just gonna go ahead and quantize that so I, like, get a feel for what I actually fucking did. Alright, so I need something there. There's a little blank space. loop was a little off there, so I'm just gonna edit that down. Whoops! Don't want to do that. Crop clip. All right. That might be cool. I kind of like that. It's a little messy, but like. Let's see if that works. Not really. Maybe this. It's gonna be hard. So really all I'm doing here is just creating variation. Like I played it in not really knowing what I was doing, and just usually it's like the same phrase, and then like the second half of each phrase I change it up, and then the fourth time I'll do a different phrase. And so I kind of was like feeling my way through that. Now I just go back and kind of meticulously edit everything, make sure that it's actually something that's musically cohesive, because that's the most important thing for me, is that I actually maneuver the samples in a way that you can, you can follow what's going on from completely like disparate parts of the original song. And it takes a lot of finessing, finding the right tempo, making sure that the samples are done correctly and that they flow into one another to make like a new phrase that is just as cohesive as any one that you would find in the original song. I need to bring the tempo down a bit. Bring it down just a little bit more. I'm going to take slice 33 there, and I'm going to edit the start time. I want it to happen a little later. That's all I got to do. Nice. I like that. Might have been a little too much, but I'll just bring it back there. That slice 36 here. Warp has 2 beats. Yeah. All right. See, this is really the first time I've started using the warp function like heavily in the new Simpler in live. So bear with me, but I think this is gonna make the timing of a lot of this stuff a lot better. Yeah. See right there, that was like beautiful, and I'm so excited this exists. Like as soon as they announced it, I was like, fuck yeah. It just like made my day. And that's really the best part. It's just because like I haven't done that much sampling outside of BiroMakesABeet recently because I'm kind of changing up my sound. I want to do things a little differently. You know, I have musical training and shit, so I want to be able to use that better than just like cherry picking other people's sounds and stuff. So been doing a lot of design, but yeah, just being able to use this like within like this flex tool within Simpler is it's just got me excited to do this shit again. I have to say. I like that. Yeah. So this is it's kind of it's not warping like you would find in yeah. Trying to think here. It's not the kind of warping that you would find like just straight up the way that I do it where you can just like move the timing. It's like you can either adjust the whole thing at once or not. And that seems to be your options. Still though, very useful. Slices that. Slice 22. Okay, didn't want to do that. It's kind of weird. Sorry, this is probably the most boring thing in the world. I'm trying to get this right, but does this do anything is the question. I don't think it does. Yeah, I don't think you can just like drop in a warp marker there. Yeah. Whoops. I'm looking for a very specific chord within these samples, but I don't know that I'm gonna find it. That might be my best bet. It's ugly. To follow up that question from Nick Palmer, I was actually I went to Romania last week, and that was really cool. But we connected through Amsterdam. I flew out of Newark, and we had to connect through Amsterdam. We were really late getting out of Newark. We were like 8-hour delay. It was awful. But so when we showed up, we had missed our connecting flight to Bucharest, and the next one wasn't for another like 8 hours. So I was with my brother, and we were like, shit, we got all this time to kill. So we went to Amsterdam and went to a coffee shop. That was the first time I was ever did that. That was pretty cool. So yeah, just fun story. And then we went back and got in a plane. And we were exhausted. All right, I was gonna say, Katie. I was like just Google coffee shops. Coffee shops Amsterdam, being your keywords. All right, I think I'm pretty happy with this right now. It's like a verse. Hit save, everybody. Hit save every once in a while. So you don't lose your work. Ableton's good about protecting you against crashes, but it doesn't always happen the way you expect or the way that they've written it. So, very important. All right, so I took out some of this, like, it was right around 2K. That's the offending frequency with this, like, synth. Just obnoxious. I don't really want it. All right, so I'm just gonna throw down some quick drums here. No, I was not stoned on the plane. I was. It was definitely. We came down before then. Dilla has influenced me rhythmically the most. I think his sense of feel was pretty unprecedented, not just in hip hop but in music in general. His like sloppiness, like early snares, late hats, like that sort of slugging like neo soul feel. I mean, it's influenced so many people, and it's not just Dilla directly that that has caused that or that has created that urge to kind of like slip and slide around the beat a little bit. But he was really a pioneer of that sort of off timing, and I consider that sort of micro timing, the very small like sub 30-second note timing, just slipping things around the grid a little bit, one of the most important things in the music that I make. Like, I always go back and very meticulously make sure that everything is lining up, because rhythm is so freaking important. Like, all the little, like, if I hear, I mean, it's gotten to the point where if I hear a song where someone's like soloing on it's like a keyboard solo or something, or a guitar solo, and they're hitting the notes early, like earlier than the rhythm section, I can't listen to it. It just, I don't know, something about it. Like, I need the lead instruments later. Then the rhythm has to be first, just slightly, like just a little bit. It has to be ahead of the beat. But I don't know. I got that from Dilla and his disciples, definitely. And some of the shit that he samples and some of the ways that he does it, very forward and aggressive and really cool, I think. So just even if just a little bit, I've kind of gotten a sense of flavor from him, that, guy just had the most unique voice and played that MPC like it was, I mean, it is an instrument, but he was the one who convinced a lot of people that it was. So. Whoa, all right, we're getting some fucking lag. That's unbelievable. And makes me very upset. By the way, I play in all my drums because it's just how I like to do it. It gives me that ability to lock down that feel in the first place rather than going to, a MIDI grid, like a piano roll afterwards, and like play with it all and punch it all in by hand, like just using mouse clicks. Like, if I feel it, I've, developed the ability to play the rhythm and like, with the sloppy feel and everything, so I don't have to do too much afterwards. And the idea is to capture as much of a live take as possible. But I don't know that this beat is going to be super sluggish or anything, so we'll see. There's a good amount of like crackling and dropouts and stuff, so it's actually kind of hard for me to play this in live. I'm gonna do my best, but it's like skipping around on me, and I kind of hate that. It makes me so uncomfortable. All right, I'm gonna call this verse. Color that something else. Throw a little reverb on here. Cool thing about drum racks in Ableton is you can actually have reverb within the drum rack, which is just such a wild invention, and I absolutely love it. I'm also gonna override my template here and parallel compress the drums from the output of the track rather than the individual outputs of all the chains in the drum rack. The difference that makes is it compresses all the effects that are on the drums rather than not doing that, and it also allows me to control all of the drums volume with just this fader, whereas before, if I would bring this down, you wouldn't get any of the output of the track, but you would still hear the output from the chains going through this parallel compression bus and being outputted to the return, and that was just kind of a pain to have to deal with. So all right. God, all right, this is like unbelievable. Just make sure this isn't like absolutely destroying my CPU. I'm sure it is, but whatever. What software would I recommend for a beginner to start making beats? Doesn't matter. It literally does not matter. The important thing is to just learn it. There's a ton of different types out there. I like Ableton. I don't think it's the easiest to learn. I would probably recommend Logic. FL Studio, I've never used it. So I can't really tell you what to do there. I think Logic is probably the most powerful. I just use Ableton because it happens to be customizable in a particular way that I absolutely love. So that's why I use Ableton. I started on Logic 9. I now have Logic X, and I use both still, but mostly for mixing and more audio-centric processes. Like Ableton is the best for MIDI and virtual instruments and producers and stuff. I guess I was 18 when I started making beats, 18, 19, pretty much 19. It was my freshman year of college when I really started doing this. Yeah. And I have been to England. Last time I was there was in high school. I guess I was a senior in high school. I went for like 5 days, just to London. Yeah. I'm gonna make myself a little ghost kick here. Basically, just filter at the top end of another kick drum. It doesn't really matter what. Like you're more flexible because you're just basically. I use like anywhere from like 800 to like 1K down to like 200 hertz even, and just low pass it, and then I'll pull the decay time down so it doesn't like fluff up too much because it's just a ghost kick. Just used for that. I also like to layer claps in with my snares. Alright, don't love that. It's the clap sound. Whew. That has the ugliest tail. It's awful. It's not awful, but it's not appropriate. Alright, I'm thinking just for fuck's sake, I might chop up a break and use the hi-hats from that. I'm not really sure. I want to make sure that I get some good hat sounds here. Because the slower beats, you kind of need hats to fill in the space, I find. Could probably rock with these, honestly. And copy them over. Map to hats, B select. So I'm filtering out the low end here on the hi-hats. I'm actually going to switch the two of them. right, so I like what's happening in the sample there. It's kind of like this boom, and that's just like hi-hat stuff. Like, that's real nice. So I want to... Oh, God, this is off. Alright, so I'm going to quantize you. Again, I don't think this is going to be like a terribly quantized, a terribly sloppy beat, so that's why I'm comfortable quantizing. Make everything the same length here, just so it's not too unruly. And then... Again, just quantizing. Just make everything the same length there. Yeah, this crackling is pretty nuts. Pretty fucking nuts. I wish I knew what was going on that was making it so. It is what it is, I guess. Just have to deal with it. Alright, so I'm going to go into this rack here. Upgrade, sure, whatever. And I'm just going to figure out which... This is closed 05. Alright, so whatever. I can't really do anything with that. Damn. I like putting reverb on my hi-hats. Your job is to do that a lot. Gives you a lot of ambience and texture, and kind of fills in the high end, because your hi-hats really drive the high end in hip hop and whatnot. Especially nowadays when you got trap style hats, it's like everything. But even in this like breakbeat sort of stuff, it's extremely prevalent, and you know, just having it fill that space, a little reverb, really helps a lot of the time. Alright, so I got a little blank space here that's not filled with anything. What I'm going to do is go to my drum 128s. I'm going to find a percussion. I want a shaker. This is a Ninth Wonder kit full of shakers that I turned into a 128, which is this. It's a cool thing, basically. You got 128 samples. There we go. Word. 128 samples, and then you use this like select thing to select the chain. So I've got like this whole like library of drum sounds that I really like loaded up into each of these drum rack pads. Each one contains an instrument rack, which contains a sampler, which contains 128 samples. It took me a long ass time to figure this out, but I've been using it for like 2 years, and it's everything. It's like my whole drum sensibility is because of this. All right, fuck it. This sounds great with some swing, so I'm gonna do that. Um, all right, let me do this groove here. I got like some of my favorite different swings loaded up into my template here. So I'll try 62. And that's the cool thing about Ableton is like you can quantize like this non-destructively to anything. Like you can make your own groove templates and use those in your tracks, and it's just like it's really cool. And keep everything on the grid here, but then like in reality it's playing. And then if you ever want to commit, you can just hit that there and it'll shift everything to what it's actually playing with the groove template. So very useful, especially with this kind of music where there's a lot of wonky rhythmic stuff going on sometimes. Generally, I don't want to get too busy with kicks in the beginning of a track, so I'll probably end up making this more of a later verse, or just like I'll go in and deactivate some of the notes that are making this a little busier. So just making sure I got all these sounds right, you know, like these are basically ghost kicks to me. Yeah. So while they sound good with the original kick there, I wanna actually. I just think that sounds a lot better. I know it's a minor difference, but I think it makes all the difference. Hands down. All right, yeah. And this is where we throw in the clap. This is like my fourth, like literally you could bury me and put this fourth measure, like kick and snare rhythm on my fucking headstone. It's just, I'm just being myself right now. That's it. That's pretty much me in a nutshell. Yep, that's it. Oh. Did my mouse die? No, we're back. Come on. All right. For ease of use, I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this section here like that and just make some minor variations the second time around. Pretty much want all these ghost kicks to be the same velocity because they all serve the same function. You'll notice that they all come immediate, 1/16th note before a main kick drum, one of the big guys here. So that kind of tells you what they're doing. Now there are rolls for the lower velocity, that's represented by the blue, and those are the offbeat main kick drums that I want to not be the ghost kick of sorts. So you'll hear the difference if I play this here. So I don't know if that clues you in at all. That's a big part of my drum philosophy is making sure that everything has its, its own place. Yeah, the beat feels empty right now because I haven't done shit yet. Of course, I'm gonna put something else. I still have yet to add bass. I'm gonna have to flesh out a lot of this. It's just the arrangement of the sample. There's not too much going on. It's all like high mids with that lead, and there is some bass in the sample, but I'm gonna record my own bass over that and cut it out here, as you can see. All right, I'm gonna toss these into the arrangement. Who needs bass? What the fuck are you talking about? Everyone needs bass. Alright, so that's 8 bars. Alright, so I'm going to work in the arrangement now for a little bit, probably. Alright, so I was mentioning before something about a B section. Let's see what we can do there. Rename the drum there, pattern B. Even though it's not any different, it's gonna be most likely. Create a little MIDI region there. Alright, so I was living up here somewhere. minor 2, flat 2. Alright, I like that. That's pretty cool. Couple changes. Crop it. I'm gonna save. Just remembered, just popped into my head. You gotta save. Always save. Every time. Every time you remember to. Alright, 50. You gotta be louder, motherfucker. I'm coming for you. Boom. I like it. I like it a lot. Big fan of that. That's pretty cool. that's my B section. The chorus. Not that it really makes a difference. What I'm going to do here is copy claps up everywhere. Right. Because I am who I am, and I love ride cymbals. Yep. Oh my god. Alright, I'm gonna iTunes is open. It very clearly is telling me that my stream is terrible and my CPU is like getting screwed over right now. So let me see what I can do on that in that regard. Save changes. All right. Every time every time I press play, it's like killing me. The watch page. All right. Well, that's weird. YouTube's telling me it's like not receiving enough information to actually stream, and then my computer is like screwing up a lot. Not that it's screwing up. I should be nicer to my computer. But it's very crackly and the audio is dropping out, so I gotta do something about that. Because if I'm about to record bass, then I got shit to do. Yeah, that's kind of what I needed there. Yeah, alright, I like that. Alright, got some like silly bongo loops and stuff in here, so I'm just gonna throw one of those in there. Sure. Yeah, let me, okay. Hey, I'm planning on making a sick beat again. Hopefully, yes, I think so. Do I use much VST instruments? It's tough to say. Yes, I do. On new material that's coming out. I have in the past on a lot of beats, but I try to tuck things in that you don't hear. I mean, like, there's synths all over Beats 3 and stuff, and but usually the samples are the bulk of my arrangements, so I don't end up doing too much beyond that. But that said, like, yeah, I'm very familiar with a lot of VSTs, and use them a lot in some forthcoming material. I have an EP coming out after Leftovers 2, sometime during the winter, that nobody knows anything about. But that's going to happen. So, and I'm very excited about that. It's like a whole different story. It's going to be an entirely new Birocratic. So, get yourselves ready. You're too loud. Come down. It's definitely bass time. Any tips on finding your style? Do something a lot and don't doubt yourself. Because as soon as you do, then you start altering what you do into trying to please other people, and that's death. I have no idea how I have a style. I just do the same thing a lot with different material because it's just what I'm inclined to do. I just do it, and then it turns out to be, oh, you have a sound. Well, I guess. Okay. Bottom line is trust yourself. So this is an armchair, which makes it really annoying to record bass. But the good news is, on my bed right now, and you can't see it because it's out of frame, I have a giant box with a new chair that's much more ergonomic and it's not going to fuck up my lower back like this one does. So I'm very excited about that. Another thing you can do. Wait, I'll get to that question in a second. Another thing you can do is flip the arms down, which makes recording bass a lot easier than this bullshit. Like sitting at the edge and in constant fear of tipping my chair over. Oh, wow. Oh, shit. You guys are hearing the direct input of my bass. That's something I did not consider. Shit. All right, well, we'll have to live with that, unfortunately. And I gotta do this. It might not work. Hold up. No, I have no idea what I'm doing with this mix necessarily. Because I'm having a lot of CPU problems, I think I'm probably just gonna peace now, stop the stream, and just put it up on YouTube, and be able to record in peace without all these crackles and all that bullshit, because it's really kind of hampering my my style a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and yeah. Guys, thanks for rolling with me. This track will be online in a little while. All right.